Hello, hello, and welcome everyone to Islands of Ice, right? I am your host for tonight's World of Warships Legends shenanigans. I am Phoenix61. Make sure you're following the channel, I really do appreciate that. That does help me out. Pushing the like button also helps me out, creates a little bit more, what's that fancy word, engagement. Helps my videos be seen by more, right? That kind of BS, right? So, yeah. We are rocking the Republique tonight, right? I'm always bad at pronouncing ship names, but I think we're pretty close with that one, right? So, and I have a lot of fun with sort of this range accuracy AP shell build that we've done with this ship, right? So it's it's a nice good old time. The downside with this ship is of course you only get the 2 turrets, right? But and then that rear turret can be a a little bit risky to get on target, right? Because then you go a little bit broadside, right? But so we're getting some spotting happening for us here, and of course since we're a battleship, we're going to be eager to shoot towards the cruiser, right? So we'll see what we can kind of get out of him, and it's a whole lot of nothing. And then we're going to slow down. We don't want to press in too quickly, right? We're going to sort of utilize the the strengths of the ship and the strengths of the build, right? So we're going to keep our distance appropriately, right? A lot of times those Atlanticos have some pretty wicked secondaries. And we do notice there is only 1 destroyer in this game, right? So we don't have to worry too much. You do always have to kind of just keep that in the back of your mind. But we can see the center of the zone cap is not progressing towards our team anymore, right? So we do know somebody's in there. We do know an enemy is in there somewhere, right? So I would assume it's their destroyer. But, you never know. And we were going to take our shots at the Constellation, but this Atlantico looks like it might be a little bit better for us. We'll aim a little bit high because it looks like he's turning in and he's not, wasn't too broadside to start with, right? But of course it still wasn't enough. We get a ricochet and a busted shell, right? So yeah, whole lot of nothing there again. Stay tuned. I promise we do decent in this game, right? Don't just leave me here, right? We're still playing. You guys know me. I try not to put boring games out there, but occasionally it happens. Just need some things to materialize. I mean, part of it too is, with this ship, we don't want to be too aggressive. It's not a good one to just go full on force in there, right? Especially with the way we've outfitted it. So we kind of need to wait for either enemies to press in or mistakes to be made, right? Especially on the enemy team. So this Rasoya here is coming in and is broadside to us. They're being maybe a little bit too aggressive, right? So would have liked to have get a little bit more damage out of him just with how well he was angled for us, right? And then, yeah, we're trying to get this rear turret around, right? And then, of course, he's going to turn away from us. He'd rather be broadside to somebody else, not us, right? So we'll take these shots. We'll aim a little bit high. He's moving away. He's angled away, right? So we'll aim high. Try and get some superstructure damage out of him, right? We get a little bit of a decent chunk there. And then there is their destroyer, right? So it's an Elbing. If we get loaded before he goes unspotted, I will probably take this shot. I'm a huge fan of getting those destroyers off the board, but I do like to at least take a peek at what my options are too. If we've got a just really nice broadside shot against somebody that I think we can do some wicked damage to, occasionally I won't shoot the destroyer, right? But alas, we shoot at the destroyer, we help finish him off, so that was definitely the right call to do. He was still spotted. It was a fairly easy shot. We've got some pretty decent accuracy built in with this guy, right? So we made that call, destroyer off the board. The only one on the enemy team, right? So that can be really, really huge for our team, right? So and now we just need to kind of be, smart and about our angling and pick our, choose our targets wisely, right? Man, he got a good chunk of damage out of us for how we were angled. I was a little bit disappointed how much damage he was able to do to us. That depending on his build there, that and which commander you're using with that Rasoya, that Azure Lane one, like they can have really wicked awesome like penetration angles against you. So that may have been the case. And then your saturation on your superstructure. So like that's the other thing too. So I couldn't tell how much he actually got hits on us there, but he did like no damage that volley, right? So and then just based on who's shooting, ooh, we get 2 citadels on him that time. There we go. That's what we're going for. And then just based on who's looking at us, who's shooting at us, right? I'm gonna kind of switch between moving forward and backwards, right? Try and throw them off a little bit. Of course, if no one's going to focus on us, well, I would just move up. But this Atlantico looks like he's spending some time looking our direction as well. We could have our allied cruiser behind us. That's where those bullets were going there. See if we can't, like, this looks like a good shot, but if you look at the mini map, he is angled pretty good. We get penetration and an overpen, and then a busted shell. Right, so we don't have too much in the way of health left, so we're going to be conservative. We're going to keep moving backwards now at this point. Right, hopefully someone can help us finish off this Atlantico. We'll use our last heal and damage con there. Right, we're not at risk for floods, right? I know a lot of people say don't ever put out one fire, right? But like we don't have a lot that's shooting at us right now, so I used it there. If we burn for a minute and a little bit, like that's our own fault, but that's kind of my thought process there. We should be able to get a good shot on the Rasoya. This Bagraton, however you say this ship, like he's managed to be unspotted for the vast majority of the game, right? As a lot of cruisers want to be, like you'll tuck behind an island or something and see if you can't just farm damage, right? It's the destroyer, or it's the cruiser way, right? Of course, we miss our shot on him because he was backing up. Yep, we see the Rasoya. He is also moving away, so we'll try and line that up as best we can. Plunk some bullets down on top of him. Whole lot of nothing there. I mean, just a tiny little bit of health that we did. So it might just may not have a lot of superstructure damage left to do on him. There is that, there is that saturation situation, if you know what I mean. And can we get some angles and some penetration? Yeah, there we go. So four ricochets there is kind of what you'd expect. And that's why we were aiming high before, but we just didn't get, we just weren't getting damage. So I kind of figured we'd take a different angle with the shot there. But that was kind of, what you would expect, I guess. And then Constellation's giving us a little bit of a decent angle here, so we'll take this next shot at him. We will press in using our engine boost now, since we've got, we've kind of got the momentum for our team going here, right? So we can press in. We should be able to win this unless the rest of my team is dumb as well, right? But so we can be a little more aggressive is kind of what I'm getting at. If you watch my channel, you know that like when you feel like you have the game in the bag, or when you feel like your team's got that momentum going and you're pretty sure you're going to win, then I kind of like to go in and be a little more aggressive, right? But these guys aren't even looking this way, so it's definitely the right call to press in now. 126,000 damage we are up to. That Constellation is going down quickly. All right, so I sent both turrets, but you could make the argument to only send one because he's probably going to die from, a single hit, right? But well, I don't know. That first volley didn't look that great anyway, so maybe I needed the second one too. But yeah, this cruiser here has managed to survive for quite some time. And he's just been smart about his positioning, I would say, right? So we'll aim a little high because he's, if you look at the mini map, how he's angled, right? So, and then let's see, we plunk down and we get a citadel hit there. And then it's a matter of chasing down this last cruiser. But we should win on points fairly quickly, right? So it is one of those, like, especially with Epicenter too, like people don't play the objective you end up losing on points, which I mean, sounds obvious, right? But like when you see it happening, people just don't notice it until it's too late, right? It's something that people just don't keep an eye on, right? And so, I mean, even if I know I'm going to lose, I'll go in and play that aggressive stance, even if I'm a cruiser, just to see, just to try and make things happen, right? Because if he's not barreling towards the epicenter and the zone captures right now, he's gonna lose anyway, right? So it's like, how do you want to lose? You want somebody to shoot you, or you're gonna be the guy that makes the timer run out, right? So we'll see where we end up on the. I'd rather YOLO it, right? I really like. I'll take you all down with me, right? Like that kind of thing. We do get second place on the leaderboard. See, I'm not always the top dog, right? In fact, it's kind of rare, right? But actually did not have premium going. This was a game from a little while back. So we only walked away with 16,000 in credits there for silver, right? And then I'll go through the commander build just real quick here. This is High Sorcerer Baradin is not, that's just a commander guy. So we are using Robert Jujard, right? If I'm saying that right, up in the top right corner there. So not a paid commander. That is a commander you can get from crates, commander crates, or just buying them for commander XP in the store. But as you can see, we're for the most part just doing sort of a range, accuracy, and AP shell build with this guy, right? Which, I mean, I'm always open to new ideas and trying new things out, but I feel like this is what works best for me and how I like to play with this particular ship. So not to say that this is the best way to do it, but yeah, this is kind of my preference. You could go reload time here, but I like the accuracy, right? I go with dispersion there. More bullets hitting target makes sense to me, right? But, you can make the argument reload means you can shoot more bullets, right? So, yeah. And for most of the part, I'm using Will to Rebuild for my battleship builds, right? It is circumstantial, right? You do need to be near somebody for that to work out, right? But, that's kept me alive. I've had some good wins with Will to Rebuild, right, that have always been fun, right? So that is our Republic game for the day, guys. Thank you so much for watching and following.